Hey everybody, and welcome to the third podcast for thefatgirlblog.com. I'm Teresa. I'm trying to keep my head up so the lights aren't reflected in my glasses, and we'll see how well that works. I know it's been a while for a variety of reasons. I have been going to the gym and drinking my water like I'm supposed to. I've actually gone to the gym 4 times in the last week, so I'm doing pretty good there. I'm starting the Couch to 5K program. So C25K, number 5, C25K.com. You should check that out if you're interested in getting more active. But I actually have something in particular that I'd like to talk to you about. So I think that most of the day-to-day stuff will probably be, I'm going to try to get better at updating the actual website. Like I said, it's thefatgirlblog.com. And use this to talk more about some of the stuff that I'm thinking about, because there's really, being fat isn't something that's separate from everything else about you. But the thing that I want to talk to you about is something that I don't even know where it came from, why I'm thinking about it. But the idea that you see with so many of the diet plans, and by diet plans I mean a lot of times like the pills and things like that, they say, you're going to lose weight and you won't feel deprived, and it's such a myth. It really is, and I don't mean a myth in that, you're going to hate it and being, trying to lose weight isn't worth it. But the idea that you're going to turn into someone completely different. The idea that the decision to try to make yourself more healthy will suddenly make you stop craving whatever you were craving before. I think that the reason that it bothers me so much, the idea that whoever they are telling people that they won't be deprived, is that it really sets you up for failure to think that you're not going to be deprived. And the reason that it does that, or the way that it does that, is that it makes everyone who goes into a situation where you're like, okay, I'm going to try to lose weight. Okay, I can do this. And you try whatever program this is, and they say, you won't be deprived. And you're like, awesome. So you start following the program like they tell you to, and all of a sudden you're like, dang, I really want a candy bar. I really want pizza. I really want whatever. And you think to yourself, well, but I'm not doing it right. I'm not supposed to crave this. And never blame the program. Always have to blame yourself, like you're doing something wrong. That if you really, were committed, if you were really committed to losing weight, you wouldn't want the candy bar, because, committed people don't want candy bars. Committed people want carrot sticks. And it's such a joke. I mean, and I don't, please don't think that I think that the idea of trying to be healthy is a joke. But I think that the idea that you won't be deprived, and I don't know if it's more for people who have a lot of weight to lose, because I need to cut my weight almost in half, and there'll be numbers and stuff like that on the website. If they're not there, I don't know if they're there now, but they will be shortly, and I'm going to do measurements and all that good stuff. But I have a lot of weight to lose, so maybe more so with people who have a lot of weight to lose, that you can't expect yourself to completely change who you are in such a way that you will stop wanting what you wanted before. But at the same time, putting all of the hope and because it's scary. It can be very scary to try to lose weight, especially if you've been really overweight for a really long time. Be me. I've never been thin, so it is. I mean, it's kind of scary, and that's another podcast we'll get to later about why it's scary to maybe not be fat someday. But it's to put some of that motivation and that determination that's there. It's there. If you're watching this, I'm going to guess that you probably are at least a little bit determined to try to lose weight, or maybe you just know me and you're like, hey, look, it's Teresa. But anyway, that determination, and to know that determination needs to be there for you when you do feel deprived, because you're going to have to make some hard choices. I mean, and for some people, and again, maybe this is more people who have a lot of weight to lose, that the choices aren't as hard, and I don't really know. And having never only been 20 pounds overweight, I couldn't tell you. And I know that those 20 pounds are just as important to that person as my 120 pounds are to me. So I know that it's important to them. But for example, this morning, it was cold. I didn't have a coat or jacket or anything. I had on you can't really see it, but it's a short sleeve shirt. It's really cute. One of my favorite shirts, but it's a short sleeve shirt, and it was cold. So I got off. I take the train to work. I got off the train, and there's a really greasy, really good diner about a block from where I work, and I really, really, really wanted bacon and eggs and hash browns, and I didn't get it. And I would love to tell you and lie to you and say, you know, after these several weeks of trying to eat healthy and going to the gym and drinking water, I don't want greasy breakfast food anymore. And that is such a complete joke, because there's never going to be a time probably in my life when I'm not going to want greasy breakfast food. Now, instead, I went to work and I had my fat-free yogurt and I had my lean turkey, which is protein, carbs, and dairy. So good, you know, it's a good thing. And I'm sure, you know, that was 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning. I'm sure that at 7:30, 8 o'clock, 10:30 this morning, I felt better for the choice that I made. But that doesn't mean that I didn't want that breakfast food. And so the idea, you know, and to be able to, you want to say admit that to yourself, because it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you're going to want what you want, and that's fine. You know, and you do kind of have to, you know, teach yourself a little bit to realize that there are ramifications to what you eat. Not in a you should guilt yourself into eating the healthy food, but to realize that, you know, having the yogurt for breakfast is going to make you feel better than having the you know, fried eggs and fried bacon and fried hash browns and fried toast, or, you know, butter toast. And so, you know, it's something that I think that people who are trying to lose weight, which if any of you are, have to think about, and to realize that just because you hit a little bit of feeling deprived, you hit a little bit of feeling like it's harder than you thought, that, you know, the myth out there that you're not going to feel deprived hits you, and you think that because you feel deprived, you're doing it wrong and you should come back when you're stronger. It's completely not true. You should stick with it now, because there's never going to be a point. I mean, I've never heard, as far as I know, for anyone, there's never a point where you can do a complete 180 with your life and to not want what you wanted before. I'm sure there are healthy people out there. They all have, you know, the foods that they're still, that they want. Maybe they don't eat it as often as they want because they know that it's not a healthy choice for them, but you're never going to get to a point where you're not going to want it at least a little bit. And so the strength that is there, the strength that said, I need to lose weight, I need to get my rear end in gear in a variety of ways, and I need to whatever got you to wherever you are in your weight loss journey, whatever got you to that place needs to be what gets you through wanting the candy bar and wanting the pizza and wanting the greasy breakfast food. And to realize, you know, you can say, you know, it's not worth it, but you have to make sure that you don't maintain this idea of that you're torturing yourself by not having the junk food, or not having the junk food. You have to maintain the, you know, to know that you're doing the better thing for yourself by eating the healthy food, but to not, you know, to acknowledge the fact that you do want it, because if you pretend like you don't, eventually you will crack. It will happen. If you pretend like you don't want the greasy breakfast food, you know, if you pretend like you don't want the junk food, you know, it will hit you eventually. And been there, done that. It's not fun. So you have to be able to get past that myth that you're not going to be deprived, and to realize that sometimes a little bit of deprivation is your body learning what is good for it. So you can say, okay, you know, I do feel a little bit like I'd rather have this junky food, but, you know, I know that later today I'll feel better if I make this other choice over here. And in some ways, you know, because even though you may feel deprived a little bit you're not getting the yummy junk food, your body isn't getting deprived. Your body is getting what it wants. Your body is getting the healthy food. Your body's getting the protein and the calcium and the carbohydrates and the fat. I mean, your body needs some fat, some cholesterol and things like that. So your body's not getting deprived. Your body's getting what it wants. This thing is getting ready to cut me off, so I do need to shush. But anyway, so this is just something I was thinking about today. So if you're sitting there, you want a candy bar, realize that wanting the candy bar is okay. I'm not suggesting you eat said candy bar, but wanting the candy bar is okay. So don't buy into the myth that you're not deprived is okay. Get through it. You can. And hopefully there won't be such a huge gap between this podcast and the next one. So I will see you later. Bye!